Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture is titled B93, a dark interstellar ghost. So what do we see here? Well, here we see a ghost in the Milky Way galaxy as we look out toward the region of Sagittarius. And this is known as B93 or Barnard 93, which is the number 93 entry in Barnard's catalog. An astronomer who cataloged different dark nebulae like this and tried to better understand them. So what is a dark nebula? Well, it's actually dust. Small particles of material. Now, dust in space is not like household dust we tend to think of when we say that term. Dust in space is very tiny grains, much smaller than typical household dust, and usually has a small core that could be silicate or carbon surrounded by ice. But they're larger particles, and they're therefore big enough to block out light. Not each individual one doesn't do a whole lot, but when you get billions and billions of them that are spread out over the region, they can eventually block out all the light from behind. And that's what we're seeing here. Those darker regions are a higher concentration of material where the light has been blocked out. Now, how dense is it? Well, it really depends. Some of the areas can be pretty dense where it's dark and can actually be regions where stars are currently forming. And that will happen if the density is high enough, the core will start to collapse and form a star. So some of these dark nebulae could be the beginnings of star formation. In order to really find out, we'd have to look at this in the infrared or even in the radio to see what's going on with those longer wavelengths can penetrate through the dust and give us a view into the interior. But what the dust does is block out all of the light from behind it. So where we see those darker areas, it's not an absence of material, but there's actually just as much material behind those as there is elsewhere in the image. Simply, we cannot see it because there's dust in the way. So there are some things in the universe that we'll never get to see, simply because there's too much dust there to be able to see it. Now, if they do form stars in the long run, that will eventually evaporate these clouds. So they will eventually dissipate, and the stars that form within them will then eat away at them from the inside, burst out of their cocoons, and eventually push out the rest of this material, clearing it out, just leaving behind new stars. So that could be what's happening in B93 as we look at the ghostly shapes in the sky for our picture today. So that was our picture of the day, titled B93, a dark interstellar ghost. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.